Hey everybody, it's Jim from Cigars. And as you can see, I'm out here in my cigar hut and it is a wintry day. Let's talk about this cigar though, the Red Meat Lovers Cigar by Dunbarton. And if you're not familiar with Dunbarton, they're a pretty interesting company. They're a relative newcomer, at least in cigar years, I think since like 2016 or something like that. They've been very innovative and very prolific in putting out some very good cigar brands. But one of the things I really like about Dunbarton is they do a good job of carrying through the theme of the cigar. When we look at cigars, they all have a theme, and sometimes the theme is kind of interesting, sometimes it's not. And most of the time, the cigar really doesn't match up with the theme. It's sort of a marketing thing. Dunbarton does a pretty good job of carrying through the theme. They did it with Umbagog, which is based on lake life, and the cigar really reflects that. And also Sober Mesa, which is a good cigar. And the Red Meat Lovers, I think, is going to be the same. This was developed for the Red Meat Lovers Club for a charity event that they had. And Steve Saka from Dunbarton decided to carry it through to general production and distribution. But the whole idea of this cigar is it is supposed to be real strong, enjoyed after a heavy steak dinner. Now, middle of the day here, and I had a really big lunch, but I will confess I didn't have steak. Before I go ahead and light this up, I want to go through some of the specs on it. As you can see, it's an interesting cigar. It's got a pigtail cap on it, and it's box pressed. This is a Toro size, which they name them after cuts of meat. This is the ribeye, and there's 3 other rotolas that are named after various cuts of meat. In terms of the wrapper on this is a Connecticut Broadleaf Maduro wrapper, so it's pretty dark. But the binder on this is actually a San Andres Oscuro leaf, which is a pretty dark leaf, but a little bit sweet, so hopefully that'll lend some sweetness to the cigar. But man, you are talking about 2 very dark components to it right there. Inside is Nicaraguan filler, also blended with a little Pennsylvania filler. So it's supposed to be a pretty strong cigar, full-bodied. So I'm going to get it cut up and lit up and we'll go from there. All right, just about to the end of this Dunbarton Red Meat Lover cigar. And I have to say I'm really impressed. But before I start going into that, I wanted to point out a couple other things about it. The wrapper, as I mentioned before, is Connecticut Broadleaf. And it's very, very toothy and oily at the same time. It's really an interesting wrapper. Well, let's talk first about the construction on the cigar. Man, it is a well-made cigar. I really like it. I like a durable cigar because I manhandle cigars a lot. And that's definitely a very durable cigar. Burn was really, really good. No touch-up required. Burned straight all the way down. Smoke production, great. Draw, great. Very, very well-built cigar. Very impressed by that. Flavor-wise, I gotta say I'm equally impressed. It really does fulfill the promise of a cigar to have after a big steak dinner, maybe instead of dessert, or in my case, after dessert. Kind of woody oaky is the flavor that comes out mostly, but it's supplemented by a cocoa coffee flavor that really comes through. And I actually had to pull out the wheel of flavor because there was something else I thought I was missing. And the best thing I came up with is brown sugar. So a little bit of brown sugar in there. So give it a little kind of a desserty taste, but not too sweet by any means. Just the right touch. In terms of boldness, I'm going to give this 9.5 out of 10. I've had stronger cigars, but very well balanced. It's strong, but the flavors really balance it out nicely. Man, this is a very good cigar. It's early in the year, still January, but I think this is the best cigar I've had this year so far. There's a lot of cigars left to smoke though. Total smoking experience, 9.5. I really do like the cigar. It runs about, I'm going to say 15, 16 bucks. If you're inclined and if you can get these, I've seen them sold out a lot online, but I picked this one up at my local cigar shop. So if you can get one, give it a try. Have a nice dinner or big lunch like I had first. I think you'll enjoy it. Jim from Cigars. I will see you next time.